Just want to remind everyone before the meeting gets started to make sure when you speak, you need to turn on your microphone. And then we ask that you turn it off after so we can, yeah. Yes, yes.
Call to order at 7 p.m. Please take a roll.
Commissioner Green,
Present.
Commissioner Feister, Commissioner Maninder Singh, Commissioner Raj Singh,
Here.
Chairperson Nair,
Present. Okay, let's stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Any public comments?
I'll read about public comments. Public comments, persons wishing to address the Parks and Recreation Commission during the public comment portion of the agenda may complete the public comment form, which is located on the table at the back of the boardroom. No action or discussion shall be taken on any item raised during public comment, except that commissioners or staff members may briefly respond to statements or questions. If a member of the public wishes to comment on an agenda item, public comment form should be submitted prior to the time the item is announced. Completion of the form is voluntary. Persons that do not fill out the form but still wish to speak will be allowed to do so. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please turn off all electronic devices and please no personal attacks.
Item 4, approval of minutes. Are there any comments or changes to the minutes? If there are no changes to the minutes, is there a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting held on September 27, 2023?
Motion to approve.
Anyone seconds it? I second. Commissioner Green moves to approve the minutes and Commissioner Maninder seconds. All in favor of favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye. Aye. Minutes approved.
I'd like to make a comment. If we could issue a point of order and move item 5A. Scratch that. We'll go ahead and continue. Go ahead, Commissioner.
So policy and action item 5.A, approve the selection for chairperson and vice chairperson to serve through June 30th, 2024, and approve the term limits of alternate members.
So I have a brief presentation just to explain what happened at our last meeting.
Oh, try pointing it over here. No, okay, I'll just forward it.
So at the last meeting back in September, we elected Commissioner Vishal Nair as chairperson and Scott as our vice chairperson using a ballot method. However, after we did a recount of the ballots, it was determined that both Commissioners Pfister and Raj Singh tied for vice chair. So it is required that the commission vote for their choice between the commissioners, Commissioner Pfister and Commissioner Raj Singh, using a ballot. And upon the selection, the commission must approve the selection of the candidates for chairperson and vice chairperson. So we'll have to, this item is actually in two folds. We have to re-vote for your vice chair. And then you have to motion to approve both the chairperson that you voted at the last meeting and the vice chair that you vote for today. So we'll just do one item at a time, so not to confuse you. So I have ballots here for you. I'm going to go ahead and give them to you. You pick between Commissioners Pfister and Commissioner Raj Singh for vice chair.
But before that, do we have option to ask for any questions from any commissioners on that?
At the end, I believe you do that after you vote.
Since,
I can answer any clarifying questions for you.
okay, so clarifying questions is that, do you think you can share the, how it was, voting was done and,
Yes, if you look in your minutes, I have the breakdown of all of the votes for both chair and vice chair.
is there, do you think, you can share the actual ballots that were casted that day?
It's on in your minutes. Do you see the chart that lists all of the votes?
Yes, but, how about, do you have those, slips that, that were casted, on 23rd or 20, when we had our last meeting?
Yes,
Okay. Do
I have them here,
you have them here? Okay.
Yeah.
And,
but they're
those,
recorded here in the minutes.
yeah, no, but I think what I'm trying to get to is that since, we had, election and somebody was elected to that position,
Mhm.
and to have a re-election for that, I would really like to see some, some conclusive, evidence that that's how the ballots were casted. So council. So do you think council can verify those ballots and,
So you would like to see the ballots that they wrote?
I can, or council can verify those as well, so that they were the way they are listed here in the spreadsheet.
Okay. All right, if you want to give us a minute, we can go ahead and go.
Yes.
If there's discussion, we need to call on them one at a time and you can voice it on with your microphone.
Okay, when we first voted, Scott was not here.
Yes,
He came in as we were voting.
we have votes from all of the commissioners.
I know, but when we first started, remember, because we were going to have, you thought that Sanjay Sarma was going to have to fill in. I'm sorry, because he wasn't here. I'm sorry, because
We have. we
I'm
have
not saying
ballots.
Scott, I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm saying Scott, but I meant
Yeah, that was me.
Singh wasn't here. So when when we first voted, there was only 4 of us voting. That's why the tie came in with commissioners.
No, I tallied it incorrectly. We have all of the ballots that came in that night.
Right, but didn't we have when the first time for just commissioner, we had a tie between Raj Singh
No, actually
and
was, I
Vasant.
was here. When
Yes.
they
Just,
had
yeah.
the tie, I was here.
Yeah.
I voted it.
Uh,
And then we had to do it again.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
Okay, please raise your hands if you have to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. These are for vice chair. Yeah. So 1 being who they want to vote, with 5 being their last vote. So this one is Commissioner 1. They voted Rana 1. Scott 2. Raj 3. Mhm. Yeah. This one is Commissioner. You verify that. So let's look at the Commissioner 2. So go ahead and put that aside. Commissioner 2. is Scott. Oh, okay. And then we'll go to Raj. 3. And we're gonna check Commissioner 1. Commissioner 1. And it's Commissioner 1. And-
Yes, Commissioner Singh.
I think it'll be helpful if you were to explain this table, how the counting is actually
Sure,
done. you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful for all of us, maybe.
So the way you voted is you put the commissioner that you wanted to vote for chair or vice chair first, your first choice, down to your 4th or 5th choice. So the lower the number means that you wanted them to be your choice, and your 5th choice would be your least choice. So this table is based on how you all ranked it. So just using as an example, Commissioner 1, whoever that may be, chose Commissioner Green as their first choice, then Commissioner Pfister as their second, Commissioner Raj Singh as their third choice, and Commissioner Maninder Singh as their 4th. So then what we did is we tallied each commissioner, and whoever had the lowest vote showed that they were the one that they wanted the most to be chosen. So you want to confirm?
The votes in the minutes have been confirmed.
Okay, thank you. Are there any public comments?
No, not from me. Thank you.
So this would be,
For vice chair.
right, meaning we're placing all five or,
No, just between the two that tied.
yeah, that's my clarification. Okay, thank you.
I'll confirm your choice with the attorney. You've all voted for Vice Chairperson Scott Pfister to remain as your Vice Chairperson.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve Commissioner Nair as chairperson and Commissioner Pfister as vice chairman?
I motion we approve the chairperson and vice chairperson as stated.
Anyone seconds that?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Raj Singh moves to approve the selection of Vishal Nair as chairperson and Commissioner Scott Pfister as vice chairperson. Is,
Now you'll put it to a vote.
sorry?
You'll put it to a vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Green,
I'm abstaining.
Commissioner Singh,
Approve.
Commissioner Pfister,
Yeah, approved.
Commissioner Singh,
Aye.
aye.
So Chair Nair, make sure you say the final vote.
Yes, the motion passes with a vote of 4-1 abstain to approve the selection of Vishal Nair as chairperson and Commissioner Scott Pfister as vice chairperson.
All right, our second order of business in the same item is per the resolution, we were supposed to have three of the active commissioners choose a 4-year term. We only chose 2 commissioners to serve a 4-year term, Commissioner Maninder Singh and Commissioner Noyal. So between Commissioners Green, Pfister, and Raj Singh, we have to do a random vote again, random draw to see who will serve that third 4-year term. So we need to have 3 active commissioners serve a 4-year term. So again, it'll just be a random draw.
Could you explain that again? I'm sorry. We had picked 2, right?
We had picked 2 from a random draw, but our resolution says that 3 of you have to have a 4-year term.
Right. So the ones who were already have 4-year term,
They will serve a 4-year term. Between Commissioners Green, Pfister, and Raj Singh, the 3 of you will randomly select who will also serve the 4-year term.
I do not understand why the 3 of us.
because our resolution that we passed, the board passed, they wanted to have 3 of the active commissioners serve a 4-year term, not just 2, but they wanted 3. So they wanted to create some continuity over the next 4 years. We'd have at least 3 of you on that commission.
Correct. So wouldn't it be that the last time we had already selected 2 people to serve?
Correct,
And so the remaining 3 would pick 1 person, right?
correct.
So then in that case, I wouldn't be the one picking today because I was selected for 4 years.
You were selected for 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Commissioner Meninder. Oh, I apologize. I apologize. I thought it was
So-
Commissioner Nair that, I apologize. You're,
yeah.
you're absolutely correct, Commissioner Singh. Absolutely.
So it should be between Mr. Fitzer, Nair and Green.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
Thank you.
Chair Nair. You might have other commissioners that might have questions too, so.
Any questions?
All right, who chose the additional 4-year term? Okay, then we've made it official.
Is there a motion to approve Commissioner Maninder Singh, Commissioner Raj Singh, and Commissioner Vishal Nair, and alternate oh, we have to still pick alternate member. All right.
All right, let's do that.
Four-year.
Okay. Chair, you can continue with it.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve Commissioner Maninder Singh, Commissioner Raj Singh, and Commissioner Vishal Nair, and alternate member Sanjay Sharma to serve a 4-year term, and Commissioner Scott Pfister and Commissioner Rana Green and alternate Omar Syed to serve 2-year term?
I motion we approve 4-year and 2-year terms as stated by the chair.
Oh, fine.
I second.
Commissioner Raj Singh moves to approve Commissioner Maninder Singh, Commissioner Vishal Nair, and Commissioner and alternate member Sanjay Sharma to serve 4-year term, and Commissioner Rana Green and Commissioner Scott Pfister and Omar Syed, alternate Omar Syed to serve 2-year term. Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, we'll take a vote. Yeah. Commissioner Green? On the motion that we just passed. You can update.
Do you need him to reread the final motion?
I'm voting for the commissioners, correct?
Yes, based on who got the random
Yes.
selections.
I approve that.
I'm sorry, would you?
Yes, I approve that. I'm voting yes.
Commissioner Maninder Singh,
I second.
Commissioner Scott Pfister.
Aye.
Commissioner Raj Singh.
Aye.
Chair, did you vote as well?
Aye. Motion passes with a vote of 5 to approve. Commissioner Maninder Singh, Commissioner Raj Singh, and Commissioner Vishal Nair, and alternate member Sanjay Singh to serve 4-year term, and Commissioner Rana Green and Commissioner Scott Pfister and Omar Sier, alternate Omar Sier to serve 2-year term.
Great.
I'll open the floor to discussion. If there is no discussion, thank you. I think this concludes as motion passed. Moving on to discussion item 6.A, review and discuss the current park facilities use policy and fields and facilities use and reservation policies.
So staff is recommending that you review and discuss the current park facilities use policy and fields and facilities use reservation policies. So I just have a presentation for you, and then I'll open it up for any questions if you have any at the end. So the previous board discussion was back on September of 2022. They were presented with updated policies. The proposed policies included parks, picnics, special events, sports fields, ball fields, crickets, pitches, and the like. And after a lengthy discussion, it was decided at the board they wanted to bring this item back after staff had met with their new commission. So right now, in your packet, you should have the current policies. So right now, the parks facility use policy, this current policy was approved back in September of 2021. It does not include any sports fields. It just includes parks and picnic areas. And when I say parks, I mean fields, large grass open space. The fields and facilities use policies and guidelines were approved back in January of 2015. And those are also in your packet. And if you read both of them, some of them contradict each other. So there's a need to review it and to look at it for today. This isn't something that you will be voting on today. This is your opportunity to review it with staff, ask questions. We'll probably bring it back to the next couple of meetings for you to discuss it, and we'll fine tune it together. So topics to consider: a fair allocation process, a priority requirements. For example, if you want to have, if you value youth sports, maybe that's something that you want to prioritize. If you value seniors playing cricket, maybe you would prioritize that. So you're going to think about priority requirements. We want to really well define our group classifications. So there's more than just residents and non-residents. You might want to consider youth organizations, youth sports organizations, youth nonprofit sports organizations. We want to see if you'd like to offer any discounts for various user groups. Sometimes we have advanced group allocation steps and dates. If you really value that, you want to ensure that certain types of programs get the first dibs at any of the parks, you'll have to create some sort of allocation dates. Insurance requirements are always very difficult for renters. We want to make sure that we outline exactly what it is that we need. We want to review with our risk manager, and then we want to outline it in our policies. We want to define setup and cleanup. We want to include park ordinances. We may even want to include something, for example, no smoking. If you're offering a program at your park, no smoking within the park within 50 feet. We might want to consider a noise ordinance. A lot of our fields are rented for large group special events. We may want to consider including some sort of noise regulations. We definitely want to make sure we put in some prohibited use. For example, no cleats on the grass, or no gum is allowed, or no sunflower seeds. And then obviously we want to do different rules and regulations. We want to be clear about our fees and our billing deadline and the process. Do we want to have a deposit right up front? Do we want to demand the entire fees due up front? Do you want to demand them 50% at reservation time or 50% later in the rental agreement? We want to review our cancellation and refund policy because staff do a lot of work before the rental even starts. We want to consider that. We might want to relook at the application and make sure, is it clear? Is it easy to understand? Is it easy to fill out? Maybe include some special event requirements. And then we want to consider and show off our park amenities. So for example, Central Park just isn't a baseball diamond. It also includes a picnic area and a covered picnic area. And it has water if you want to have water slides. So we might want to highlight some of those things. So are there any questions right now about these park policies that you have?
I just have one comment on insurance.
Mhm.
That process is really tedious. So something we can look into having a template for insurance so that we can direct them to go to this person or this organization to get that insurance.
Yeah, we can provide, we can recommend, but we can't say you need to go to this certain insurance carrier or that certain one. We can list ones that we've worked with before, but we don't actually tell people which insurance company to use.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
One comment I would like to make is, if there is a way, while we review these items that you have eloquently stated, is if there is a way for us to engage members of our community into this conversation, I would like to do that somehow.
Mhm.
And in terms of the Brown Act, I just wanted to ask a question to the council. If we individually engage through social media to ask folks, this is what the commission is currently contemplating.
Mhm.
I would love to have your comments or suggestions. Is there a possibility?
Yes, well, we'll put this on the agenda.
Okay,
The agenda will have the item itself. It'll explain what the discussion is going to be about. It gets posted on the website, it gets emailed, it gets posted on social media, but we can call out that particular item. Once it's been posted, we can let the community know what item we're going to be discussing. These policies need a lot of revamping, as you can see. So I believe it's going to take a lot of discussion. It's going to be some back and forth. We might even have a meeting that's just devoted to this particular topic.
right.
So staff will also bring back suggestions based on some of your comments, some of staff's comments, what we've gone to other cities and seen what policies they have. We'll show you a red line version. So we'll show you what it is now, and we'll redline what we think we want to take out and what we want to change. And then it'll open up for your discussion. We'll open it up to any of the community discussion too. You are also welcome, if you want to have a special meeting, you could schedule a special meeting just on this particular topic. And again, it would get posted and it would be brought out to the community.
Thank you. One other comment is, I think it might be useful to have some sort of a short workshop with staff, with commissioners who want to participate. I would love to have that opportunity.
I
if
believe
that is
you have the
possible.
option of having, creating a subcommittee. And the subcommittee can meet with staff,
Okay.
as long as it's not a quorum of the commission.
I would recommend to the chair that we should look at that. Thank you.
Commissioner Green?
My question, I just want to kind of clarify it with Commissioner Singh. You're not asking, could we personally post it and ask questions on our Facebooks? That's kind of how I heard it.
That's exactly what I was asking, whether or
That's
not
what
we
I
could,
thought.
as commissioners, whether or not we could solicit comments and suggestions from the community. Thank
No.
you. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying.
I have one comment on this. So I think as we will go through the process, building agenda, committee engagement will be a part of it.
Yes,
And that's what we can bring, what should be the committee engagement. Survey, workshop, town hall. That's the chance for everybody to respond back. Then only once it is done, I think, because if you take feedback from outside without that, then it won't have any, I don't think it will be right, correct?
it's up to you. You represent your community. If you want to invite them to the meeting, then, well, the invitation is out with the agenda packet. If you want to have a community meeting, how would that? Is this a community?
Like a town hall meeting or, workshop or feedback from the community. There should be some kind of model which we follow, which is part of will be a part of goal to anyway. Right, Laura?
If I'm understanding, if you want to have a community meeting with a majority of the commissioner members, we would have to have a formal meeting, but it could be a special meeting, and the agenda is posted to the public and would be encouraged to come.
Okay, thank you.
However, if staff holds a community meeting to solicit information, board members can be present in that meeting, but it's not necessarily the quorum of the board, right?
Are you saying board or commission?
I'm saying if staff, for yourself,
Mhm.
holds a community meeting to solicit information, that is a possibility, right?
So commissioners could come to a staff-held public meeting and participate as members of the public. However, if a majority of commissioners come, it gets into that sticky kind of potential meeting. So we would have to kind of go through and work out and make sure that we don't turn into an actual meeting that's subject to the Brown Act and then subject to the notice requirements. So yes, you can come to staff meetings and participate yourself as a member of the public, but generally we'd like to advise or kind of, counsel around that to avoid potential violations of the Brown Act. But it is possible if that's something that you would like to do, and we could work with you to make sure we're within the compliance of the law.
Right, I think there is some agreement that we should have
A special meeting?
should have some sort of community engagement. However, it's possible. I would like to explore that avenue. Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Green?
If I can.
I hear everything that everybody's saying. I think we're all very excited and ready to get things work with the Parks and Recreation. And I understand what Commissioner Singh is asking about, basically learning more about the Parks and Recreation. However, I think we should focus on policies and procedures and learning those first before we begin to engage the public and community with all the suggestions of what we should do before we even know how to operate. Parks and Recreation Commission. That's just my suggestion.
Mr. Seer?
Thank you. So I think some of what Rona just said, I think we need to do the heavy lifting of actually going through and familiarizing ourselves with the current policy, find issues that need to be changed, improved, removed, come up with a set of recommendation as to what the policy needs to look like, and then potentially have a workshop inviting the community to see what proposals are on the table and see if whether that resonates with the community. And if there's something that the commission has missed that some community members want to bring forward. So going off the bat to the community, I think kind of sounds premature, I think. I think, and I'm not saying that, I think Raj is kind of looking forward and not necessarily suggesting that we go straight away. But I think we're on the same page from our perspective. Look at what there is, how it needs to be improved, add something, remove something, have some sort of a notion of what the policy is going to look like, and then engage with the community through a workshop so that we can then get a final and then put the proposal back to the board.
If I may, Mr. Chair, just give a comment on that.
Okay,
I was not
Commissioner
trying to
Singh.
bypass any of the procedural items. I just want to be a voice for the community, and I want to make sure there is a placeholder at some point for them to be heard in this process. Absolutely.
Mr. Sharma?
Thank you, Commissioner Vishal. My understanding is that this is to review, first is to review the current policy, right, Laura? And then we think about it, what needs to be changed based on the criteria you discussed. Those are very good criteria. Then come what changes we think. There is another part of agenda today, which I saw was goals for 23-24. So I think that goals when we make goals, yes, the community engagement part should be part of it, which is very important part. But I think the first process is to review the current policy and recommend changes. That's my question is.
Correct. So this item that's before you, 6A, is basically just an introduction to what we currently have. It's for you to go ahead and review them, make your comments and suggestions, and we'll bring it back at a future meeting. And then if I may, what I'm hearing from the commission is that you would like to go through it, vet it out, maybe make some minor changes, and then present it to the community for their feedback, perhaps at a special meeting,
Yep.
get their feedback. Then we'll come back, as staff will prepare community feedback, commission suggestions, staff suggestions. We'll prepare that for your final review. It may not be the final review. It may have a couple revisions at that point, but it sounds like that's what the process is that you would like to go through. Is that correct?
Yes, I think,
Okay.
I think great discussion. I think everybody's so passionate about this and providing great facilities. So I think we jumped into two parts in
Yeah.
one discussion. One is policy and the other is what other programs you want to undertake. So I think that moving on, but please provide the policy updates during the next meeting. Thank you. Okay, moving to item 6.b, create work plan and goals for 2023 and 2024.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, the purpose of the commission is to provide a communication link between the community, just like you were just mentioning, between the community and the board and staff. And you are also here to advise the board on what it is that the community wants, what your suggestions are. So you advise the board on matters of needed park and recreation facilities, and that includes policy, goals and objectives of the Parks and Recreation Commission, and methods of the community involvement. We want to make sure that the community is involved in the process. We want to get them involved in our programs. So the commission duties are to evaluate our current recreation programs, our facilities, our services, our relationships. And then based on our commission's evaluations, you'll recommend program fees, policies, different programs down the road, and then facilities in the future. So I've just kind of have a little graphic of kind of the flow of how it'll work between you, how it goes from you down to staff and how they implement it. So you establish your goals, you get public feedback, you recommend it to the board. Hopefully they will approve it, and then we implement it. So staff, right now, we just kind of identified these 4 pillars of recreation, everything that we're currently offering the community. We have special events, we have park rentals, we have a lot of community programs. Well, we have some community programs, and then we have facility rental program. So right now, as you probably know, all of our community special events, bike rodeo, music in the park is a very popular one. Can I get help with that one? our kite festival, if we ever have any wind. We had our first Juneteenth festival this past year. Our 4th of July is probably our largest community event. We have our National Night Out. We have our tree lighting, by the way, which is coming up in December. So some proposed special events from the board that when they met back in February, they wanted to see maybe perhaps some movies in the park, a multicultural festival that maybe we could have it in September. And then that's just kind of what it would look like if we had a big music movie in the park. So right now we have park rentals. We have our 8 parks, our diamonds, our tennis courts, which are hugely popular. They're rented about 3 out of 4 hours of the day. They're rented, our little 3 courts. We have basketball courts that are rented, and we have 6 picnic patios. And when I say patio, these are ones that are either covered or they're all grouped together, or there's a bathroom, there's some sort of extra amenity involved. So we want to propose new park rental policies, which you just reviewed in our last item. Eventually, we'll be reviewing the tennis court policies, as well as any facility policies. So our current community programs we offer, we support the YAC summer camps, and that's the Youth Action Committee. They have summer camps and activities. We host a free senior yoga and watercolor program. If you didn't know, we have that at the firehouse a couple days a month. We host an open swim program. We work with the Mountain House Flag Football to offer a swim program, and we work with the school district for the use of their pool. So that's what we mean when we have community programs. So proposed community programs, we could include more summer camp program, a more robust volunteer program. Let's see what I have here. And maybe some more regular senior programming. So as far as our facility rentals, we have 3 key facilities. We have our firehouse room, the TH1 room, which is here in the library, and the town hall lobbies. So right now, the firehouse is going under a little beautification. We've kind of updated it a bit. We've have new chairs, new tables. We've cleaned it up. So we're really going to upgrade it and really showcase it to the community. We're proposing that the town hall be advertised for evening and weekend types of rentals. And we want to update our policies. And I also might want to include that we have the Unity Center too. We have an agreement with the Unity Center with the Mountain House Muslim Association, and we have their facility as well. We also want to update the application process, maybe propose a nonprofit verification process. And then we want to do a big marketing blitz. So we want to push it out to the community, what's available, have your meeting here, have your family functions here, have your, we want to go to outside the community too and welcome to come use our beautiful boardroom for company meetings and that forth. So we're planning to do some sort of a marketing blitz next year. So back to your goals, we want to make sure that they're specific. We want language that people in the community will know exactly what you mean in your goal. They have to be measurable. We want to make sure that it's achieved by March of next year or June. Now, granted, we're already kind of halfway through the year already. When we start to get your goals lined up, you may only have 6 months, but we want goals that are measurable. And we want them to be achievable. We don't want them to be lofty goals. We don't want to say we want to have Taylor Swift at our music in the park. We know we're never going to get that. But we may want to have something achievable, like maybe a larger band, or we might say we want to have 2,000 people at this particular event. We want it to be relevant to Mountain House. We don't want it to be something that's lofty, that doesn't make sense to this community. And then we also want it to be timed. We want it specific. We want a specific time that we want to achieve that goal. It's got to be something that staff and the commission work towards. This is kind of an example of the spreadsheet that staff would keep, that we would review month after month. It basically outlines the specific goal. It outlines your objectives, the tasks. Maybe the tasks are for staff, maybe a particular commissioner. So everything will be outlined, and I will present it during the staff updates at the end of the meeting. So again, this is not something that you all have to come up with today. Coming up with goals and objectives can be a lengthy process, but I will continually bring these back to you. And my goal is that by the end of your first term, by June, that we will have been able to accomplish at least 1 or 2 goals. Then our next year, we will know exactly what kind of goals we want to achieve. You will have more input from the community, and you'll be able to set more goals. So again, just some questions I thought I would ask you that maybe start to get some things turning. What is it that you want to accomplish in 7 months? What are your specific specialties? Think about yourself. What legacy do you want to achieve? What do you want this first Parks and Recreation legacy to be? What are your passions? What age groups do you like to focus on? Are you seniors? Are you into the youth? Do you want to see more teen programs? What business processes and policies do you think need updating? Is our website too clunky? Is the registration process too taxing? What improvements to the Park and Recreation would you like to see? What's missing in Mountain House that you've noticed? I'm sure you've all come from other communities at one point. You've come to Mountain House. What is it that Mountain House is missing? What have you heard out in the community? What have they been telling you? So anyway, those are just suggestions of ideas of questions to ask yourself. Again, we'll open it up for discussion. I don't anticipate that you'll create your 2 or 3 goals tonight, but this is something definitely to consider. And again, like I said, it'll be on all of your future agendas, so it'll be brought back up again.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Like to open it up for discussion now. Commissioner Green?
Are we going to have this list of things that you just read off available? I know I've taken notes, but.
Yes, I will have, I can send you the presentation, and we'll also post the presentation on the website too.
And also, I know they had mentioned subcommittees. You mentioned a lot of different things. So especially things that we as individuals are passionate about. Do we consider breaking off and, we might work with this group and Sal might work with, are there individual areas that we can go into separately while being on the commission working in? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, we can create subcommittees if there's I know I keep bringing up youth. It's probably the easiest demographic to talk about, but let's say 2 of you want to really focus on some youth programming, you would set up your own subcommittee. And then you might want to bring back to the commission your ideas on what you think, you think youth soccer programs is where it's at. You've heard the community, that's what they absolutely want. We've got a field that's wide open. And that might be your goal, is to really encourage or promote more youth programming.
Is it just sports?
No, I'm just using that as an example.
Okay, just wondering, because there's a lot that I personally feel like we need for older youth, teenagers in our communities. So are there opportunities to bring, for example, I know we have DARE, but some more intense like drug awareness type programs, not just where we sit and lecture, but maybe interactive type things. Those are type of questions that I'm kind of asking about, informational stuff too.
So it looks like the question about what is your passion kind of sparked something in you. So during discussion, that's something that you might want to talk about. Then maybe another commissioner might have more discussion on that as well. Then your chair might say, oh, I seem to see there's a consensus that everybody here wants to talk about youth or teen programming. Then you kind of develop your goal around that and you become more specific. What are the objectives? You want to have an after school DARE program. You want to do a summer camp program specifically for teens. Then from there, we would develop the tasks. Find an instructor, book the facility. We'd get down to the nitty gritty. So like I said, this is not going to happen overnight. And those questions, I know there were a lot that were thrown out you, but it's just there to spark your curiosity and what it is that you as a commission want to accomplish. But I feel like there's going to probably have to be a lot more discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Sharma.
Thank you, Chairman Nair. I feel that, don't you think we should do the SMART goal first? Whatever, brainstorming, I mean, of course, they don't have to be finished first. SMART goals, 3-4 goals, whatever we have, because that's require brainstorming in this session, then next. And once that is done, then we do the public meeting, community meeting through town hall or through survey. We can think about also in this meeting, get people's feedback here, what they want to see, what's missing. Once we collect that feedback, plus feedback, Laura, which you have it from previous surveys and all that, we look at that and then we propose changes to the current program and new program or whatever. So just wanted to bring that to this committee, I mean, this commission, that what do you guys think on this?
If you as a commission want more community feedback to help you define your goals, we can certainly push out a survey for that, if that's what this commission wants us to do.
I think the goals, SMART goals, they don't be, they should not, usually they are not specific to one thing, right? They are, of course, they are SMART goal, but you don't specify that into what you call specific sport. They are more like, in my company, when we had this situation, for example, establish community engagement model by so-and-so through so-and-so.
Mhm.
That's just one goal, just throwing the idea. Similar other goals, we define those goals and then we simultaneously take feedback once while we're doing brainstorming. Next meeting, we do the community meeting and get feedback from the community that what's missing, what do you think you like? And then we take that feedback. We can change the SMART goal that time, but those feedback will be most helpful for defining the changes in the current program or proposing new program. But SMART goals usually are more specific to like what commission thinks would help. And I don't know if we need feedback for SMART goal from community. I don't think so. We should brainstorm here, this meeting, next meeting, finish it, but also start taking feedback from the community about what they think is missing, what they want to see. That will help us going into the second or third level of this tier, exactly, task under that level. And that kind of stuff, yeah. And then we can make changes into the current programs, propose new program. So that's what I was thinking, is that we should think about SMART goal first in the order and get public feedback. Thank you.
Commissioner Watson.
Just a comment for Madam Manager. Your presentation is really impressive. Thank you. And I think you have a really ambitious agenda for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Mhm.
I think for me, I just want to digest the information that you have shared, and thank you. Yeah.
If I may just jump on what Commissioner Sharma mentioned at the previous item, we've already presented you with field policies. So that might be one of your goals, would be to really define and outline your facility rental policies. And then, and perhaps the objective would be to create a streamlined process and get it updated and bring it to the board for approval.
Mr. Seer.
So just a couple of comments. One, I think we should adopt some guiding principles as to, the work that we're doing. I mean, for me, ultimately, we are serving the community. The policy that we enact or kind of develop and propose, the guiding principle needs to be that it actually, any change or improvement has a direct impact, positive impact on the community. So I think that's for everything that we propose, we need to come back and say, okay, how does this actually improve the experience of the community member trying to utilize the parks and recs? So that to me, I think the overall overarching guiding principle should be there. We should agree. I'm just suggesting one. Somebody may have a better idea, but I just think that if we have that, that helps us shape our mind and our thoughts accordingly. And then I think you kind of touched on it. You're obviously, you and your staff is on the sharp end of interacting with community. You understand what the pain points are. And I think you've done a good job of extracting some of that and in your recommendations. So from my perspective, kind of being at the sharp end as well, with the Unity Center, interacting with people and understanding, when they're doing reservations and going through the process, what the difficulties are. I think one of the first item that I would hope that we actually take on is to, address those initial pain points and see if we can, in a very timely manner, resolve some of the issues that are maybe problematic for the community. In a simple metric, I think would be that, if somebody wants to reserve a facility, the communication and the information should be very readily available, and it should be very clear, just reading simple stuff. And ideally, it should be a zero touch or at a maximum one touch. When I say touch, one interaction with a member of the staff to go and actually get what they need to be done, have that done instead of having to come back and forth. So that's something I think, is low hanging fruit for us to actually tackle and, take on in a timely manner, whether that is 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. So that's just my feedback right now. Thank you.
I think that the guiding principle or having a mission statement is probably a good idea, so we can focus our energies on what we want to accomplish based on this mission statement and guiding principles. So I'm not sure if commission takes that on or staff has an idea on the mission statement and the guiding principles.
For the commission or for the department?
For the Park and Rec department or the Park and Rec commission.
I think it's appropriate that the commission and staff work together on creating that mission statement. Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Sharma.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So this session is to work on those SMART goals, right? We can brainstorm or create mission first or work on SMART goal first.
Probably have to start with a mission statement, actually. That's
Okay.
probably the better idea, to start with that.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Green.
So are we going to work on that together as a commission
Yes.
outside of
No,
these meetings?
no. So you will bring your individual comments and suggestions back to this public forum only.
In this meeting, we've brainstormed mission statement, everyone, and then come up with what mission statement should be. Once that is done, then SMART goals.
And we can help facilitate that, getting that put together. It's a lofty goal.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for all the great comments again, and we'll review our mission statement and goals and objectives at the next meeting.
Okay.
Item 6.c, future agenda items.
Well, it sounds like we have a couple already today. So in addition, again, we will be reviewing the special events calendar at your next meeting, which we will then submit to the board at their December meeting. So that'll be through any event through June of 2024. Even though June is in the middle of the summer season, we'll be presenting that up to that point. Then in December, you all as a group will discuss what we want to offer in the next fiscal year, because perhaps if there's other events that you want to offer, then I have to take it to the board to include it in the new fiscal year budget. So that's why you see that special events twice. Again, we'll do the rental policies. These are just November, December, and approved December, January. That can change. It may take longer, so don't be bound by those specific dates. Again, we just want to make sure that you remember, we also have tennis court policies. We have indoor facility policies. And then perhaps staff is recommending that we have some sort of special event policy. So these are just the things that will come down the line. One thing at a time, though. Right now, the first object is to look at the park and facilities policy. Eventually, we'll talk about recreation classes and recreation programs that we'd like to see proposed, perhaps in the summer or fall of 2024. Senior programming, again, has been a topic lately, so we'll like to bring that back to you guys as well. So, and then I also heard from today's meeting, we'll come back and discuss the mission statement that you all want to put together, as well as we'll start more discussion on your goals. Then eventually we want to host a special meeting to open it up to the community just to discuss the rental policies in itself. That would be a completely separate meeting. Keep in mind that we are getting into the holiday season. December can be kind of a busy month, but you are in no rush, but we would like to prioritize your time and make sure that we get some business taken care of. Is there any other questions about any future items that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. One question, can that community feedback not only on rental, but everything, means what they want to see, something missing, not just rental, but it can be anything, right?
Yep.
Okay.
In fact, right now we have a survey out about our music in the park. It's our largest series of special events. It's posted on the website. It was posted as of yesterday. We've sent it out to our email database. It'll be up on the website through the 31st. So we're asking them how they like the previous Music in the Park series. What would they like to see in the future series? When we take that survey down, we'll put up another survey. So we'll do kind of one survey at a time and we'll get it out to the community.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because that's what I was thinking is, once that survey is done, rather than another survey which would cover what do you want to see in the missing here, some feedback from the community in terms of survey. And then once those results are there, then we do the community meeting, people coming in and, okay, here's the results are, what do you think? So
Yep.
that's the order is right order, I think, where we send them the survey, get the feedback, and then we do meeting.
And then I'll share it here at the meeting.
Perfect, yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So thank you for the, again, great discussion. And we'll wait to see your agenda items next time. Moving to item 7, any comments by commissioners on non-agenda items? Staff, do you have any additional items?
Not at this time.
Item 8, park and facilities report.
We don't have one for today's meeting, but we will have it for your November meeting.
Thank you. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second.
Commissioner Raj Singh moves to adjourn. And Commissioner Scott Pfister seconds. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Meeting is adjourned until November 15th, 2023. Thank you.